Hello? Can you hear me? Looks like we're live. Right, usual thing. I'm not going to do anything until someone confirms it's all working. Got all day. I've got that. Yes, and yes. Excellent, excellent. Now, you may notice a slight difference this evening. I have different light. Yes, splendid, splendid. Right, see, previously, I used this light, which is blinding. That's just my office thingy. I have a thing up here, but I can change the tone of it. Is that sort of too orange? That's too white. Maybe we've got the Goldilocks effect. Maybe we want something in the middle. Maybe that's just right. Well, I'm not being blinded by this little lamp here now, which is splendid. Hello, hello, everyone in the chat. Hello, everyone who's saying hello. Okay, lighting check and everything. So, something a little different this evening. We're going to open a box. Oh, yes, we are. Yeah. Crimson with me, as ever. However, electronically. So, will be sending me messages, probably. What it does mean is my beard will remain free from paper aeroplanes this evening, which it did not do last week. I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. I'm just getting ready to use the box opening tool. I use this to open all the boxes. Just give it another minute or two. Same format as last week, this week. Going to, I say same format, I'm doing something different. All right, so going to open the box. Going to hold things up to the camera. I haven't got any of these multi-camera view shenanigans going on. That's far too difficult. It's beyond my ken, is what it is. So I'm going to open the box. Then I'm going to get the, after we've held stuff up and looked at what's actually in it, which I suspect we could tell quite easily because there's a picture on the back of what's in it. But have a look at the rule book, talk through the rules a little bit, and talk about the specific rules for the new units. See what they look like. And I have forgotten to say, of course, that this box was provided free of charge by GW. Thank you very much, GW. So, yes, we are going to do the opening thing with it. And then do the rules and stuff. That's what I was halfway through saying when I remembered that I hadn't said about it being free from GW thing. Is that I haven't looked at any of the stats for any of the planes, so I don't know what the Space Marines and the Eldar can do yet. Tiny planes with a hairy runway. A hairy runway? There's too many ways that could go. That's peculiar. Okay, so without any further ado, let's open this bad boy up. The aeroplanes. Yes, and them being in my beard. It sounded a little bit too much like something you might request in a beauty salon. I'm using the thing to open the thing. I need to sharpen this. It's gummed up by tape because every time it opens tape. We have a furry attack vehicle. I say vehicle. Bio-Titan. Not enough hands. So, yeah, Lemmy's just here, just out of shot. Responding to my voice. Oh, wow. Okay, well, just before we crack open this then, we've just had a super chat from Chapter Aeronauticus. I can't even say it. From not on the keyboard. Don't reload the site. Abort. Move the keyboard. Are you all still there? I hope. So, a super chat from Chapter Master Lexicus. Always look forward to Tuesday nights and Paul's live streams. Also, last call for Paul Fest. This is true. Next Saturday. Thank you, Paul. Next Saturday is Paul Fest at. I got a bit quieter. Did something get nudged? Was there a volume that got changed? Hang on. One time, not a bank app, but one time, Lemmy managed to delete a line out of a project plan by running across my laptop. Master volume, no. Manage sound devices. That sounds about right. The microphone. No, it's not. Where's the microphone? Device properties. 95. No, that should be fine. Okay, right, fine. I've got a bit of fennel seed stuck in my teeth. Okay, yes. So, Paul Fest is this coming Saturday, the 23rd of October, and is at Tabletop Events in Belper. It is open to channel members. It's been arranged by the Discord members themselves. The arrangement, nothing to do with me. I am simply... I've guest of honor is how I've been deemed. So anyone who's interested in still getting a ticket for that, there are still some available. Just need to be a Discord member, which requires a channel membership, which is level 1, get you access to Discord. Level 2, get you access to more of my exclusive content as well. So yeah, there you go, Chapter Master. There's your last plug. I say last plug. I think you'll end up doing it again if it's a success. So, right, we have defeated the evil Polythene. Now, the place where I was going to put it's now got a cat on it, so I'm going to have to improvise. Okay. So, let's... Scenery. Right, okay, so we've got a bag of these things. So, these are the bases that you put your little planes on, and they show you your firing arcs. So your arrow pointing forward here. Can I get it to focus? I probably can't. Your arrow pointing forward is your forward arc. This here is your rear arc, and these are your side arcs for shooting. And then you've got these two little dials. This one with the up and down the arrow denotes your height between 1 and 5. Sorry, between 0 and 5. And this one on the other side, the forward arrows denotes your speed from 1 to 9. but from 0 to 9. They're universal, so you can use them on any plane, irrespective of whether it can actually go that fast or not. Okay. So that's those. I'm just starting at the top and working my way down. Right, these look like some of the Space Marine Interceptors. That looks like 3 on a sprue. So in a box, you probably get 2 sprues. You can get 6. They look like they're 2 main parts with a couple of fins and a couple of weapon options. These look like las cannons. And there are some missile racks. And then it looks like then all you've got to do is glue the vents on. So, Interceptors. So there's 3 of those. Yes, there's 3 in this box. I think if you buy a separate box, you get 2 lots. Right, where's the other Space Marine sprue? Now, these will be the Storm Talon. These are the Storm Talons. These look like a bit of a bigger build. There are more parts to these. These look like sort of roof, walls, and floor of a chassis. And presumably, lots of fins as well. And these look like cockpit pieces. So these look like a bigger build. Looks like some like, hello, I'm here. Yes, I know I belong to you. Some missile racks, some vents, some quite small, fiddly pieces, but even the complex ones of these do not take long to build. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get into it. Not wanted to get into it. It's one of the reasons it was so easy to expand what I already had, because it's just like, okay, you build them in an hour or so and paint them in about the same as well. So, win. Right, now, excited for these. Right, these are the Night Wings. So it looks like we've got one piece and then a canopy to make the fuselage. That's the word. The fins look like they're one piece. Now I gather these can be put in because the Forge World model of these always had you could either have the wings clipped in for faster flying or out for more maneuvering. So there's 2 build variants. And looking at the inside of the sprue, it looks like there are grooves and little notches on the wing. So it looks like they do that. Now, weapon options. They look like Bright Lances, Eldari missile launchers, and star cannons. Unless I miss my mark. Okay. Now, these are Phoenixes. These are definitely Phoenixes. Oh, there are 3 of them. Yeah, there are 3 of them. These look really straightforward. They look like 1-piece fuselages with 1-piece undercarriage, which seems to have the weapon variants on it. Or are they 2-piece? No, they must be 2. They're either variants or no. That looks like an Eldari missile launcher, and that looks like a Phoenix launcher. Because I have a full size one of it. No, it's not full size. I have a 40k scale one of these before they discontinued. Have they discontinued it? I think they discontinued it. The swines. This also looks like, definitely an easier build. This it's just the fuselage and then adding bits on by the looks of things. That looks like some kind of pulse laser. That must be different and shiny and new. Knocking stuff over. Then we have a little baggie of white dice, white GW style dice. And an Aeronautica bit of paper. And some pictures. Always like the pretty pictures. Right, now. Okay, we've got the flying stalks to stick in the hexagonal bases. Goodo. one hexagonal flying base in a bag on its own. How many models are there in here? 11 models. So the big bags must be bags of 10, and this is a bag of 1. Okay. We've also got some build instructions, some transfers. Yeah, we've got some nice Imperial ones. They all look like the Salamander transfers. So, can you get that? I don't think you can get that. I think it's too bright. And all of the Craft World specific runes are Siam Han. There's a bunch of other runes on here, but no Craft World specific ones other than that. Okay. One thing I did just notice, and I don't think I've seen this in any of the others, on the back of the build rules, they seem to have the stats, the cards. Now, that's very handy because them being buried in the book is a pain. That's why I really like the decks of cards. They're very, very handy because you can turn them over when they're dead, and you can mark them out with the upgrades and stuff. So if you've got them on the back of your build rules as well, that means you can maybe get that. And we have a 2-sided playing mat with a sort of rock and lava thing on one side and a sort of like Eldari Domi type thing on the other. Okay, right. Quickly, rapidly, going to put these all back in the box now before another cat attack happens. And here we have the book. Now, it isn't just the book. It's the book and other things all in the same plastic wrap. Okay, so what do we have? We've got the rule book. In a minute. Starter scenarios. Okay, that's very helpful because in this book, I don't know how different this book is to the original main book. But in the other 2 box sets, because I have them both, they've only got one basic scenario in that book. And it's just a basic dogfight. Now, this looks like an insert. Starter scenarios. This booklet contains 3 additional scenarios designed for use with the contents of this box set. Now, maybe that means, and it hasn't been out for release yet, maybe that's an indication that so previous editions of the game, they've had the rules in this book. You better make that 100. The rules in this book and 1 mission, and then a campaign book that will come out with loads of background and story and additional planes and scenarios. Is this a replacement? Does this mean the book's not coming out? We haven't had a book released. The Straggler, Ambush. Okay. Interesting. We also have a sheet of they're falling out. A sheet of tokens. These are relevant because what you do, the way one of the basic mechanics of the game works, is at the start of each turn, you pick a maneuver that the plane's going to do. Depending on what plane it is, they're restricted to various different ones, and they have a corresponding number. And you put upside down a token next to each plane with the number of the maneuver they're going to do, so your opponent doesn't know. And then, sorry, tokens are falling out of that. And then you've got 2 of these reference cards, which have got game rules summaries. And yes, the majority of the rules can be summarized on one page. It's that straightforward. And the various maneuvers. Now, unlike, I'm sure a bunch of you have seen or have played X-Wing, where you do something very similar with the sort of twisty wheels, but they force you to decide whether you're going left or going right before you actually, at the start of the turn, when you make the decision. These give you options because you, so for example, this one, even if you've picked turn, it isn't until you activate the plane that you have to decide whether you go left or whether you go right. And even then, whether you face forward or face back, or how much of your move you have to do before you make the turn, or how much of it you can do afterwards. So it gives you flexibility. You're committed to a style of thing, but you're not committed to actually what you've got. And I've found that makes the game flow a lot better. You don't end up flying off in random directions, and okay, it might feel more realistic. It's frustrating to play, which is one of the things I found with X-Wing. I do like X-Wing though. It's TIE fighters and X-Wings, so you know what's not to like. So 2 of these. Right then. Now we have the book. Okay. Let's see. Standard thing. It's, contents of a box. The basics, talking about dice, modifying rolls, how you build your army, classes of aircraft, all things that one might expect. It talks you through the stat cards. You've got stats like structure, which is how many hits they can take. This has got an example here. It's showing of the Xiphon Interceptor. So it's got 3 structure points. It can take 3 damage before it expires. Almost the point it expires on 3 damage. Throttle, 2. Now that means it can increase or decrease its speed by 2 per turn. So it can be going really quickly and slow down by 2, or being really slow and speed up by 2. Not all planes are the same. I imagine when we look at the Eldar planes, they have super throttle powers. Minimum speed 2. Can't go below 2 or you stall. Maximum speed 6. Can't go above 6 or your plane starts to shake itself apart. Transport's not relevant. Some planes can carry passengers, and there are scenarios like this coming Friday. I am hopefully, assuming nothing gets in the way, filming the next part of Rin's World with the Claw, which is where the Imperial player has to try and land some reinforcements at an airfield that's under attack, and the Orc player has to try and stop them. So we'll be we'll be playing those rules then. Ace maneuvers. So the Xiphon Interceptor can do ace maneuvers 1 to 7. So on this list, it can do everything except that bottom one, number 8. So obviously, the higher the number, the more complex the maneuver is, and the easier it is to get yourself into the position you want to be in. Low maneuvers, like bombers, tend to have only like 1, 2, 3, so they have very few alternatives. Fuel. Fuel is a characteristic that some planes have all the time. There are some scenarios that limit the fuel that you can have, that you've got. But that's the number of turns before you have to disengage and leave the area. The games tend to last for 12 turns. So if you had a fuel of 5, you'd have to fly off the board after 5 turns. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to make it back to your base. Handling is how you recover from how you recover from stalling. It's 4+ on this guy, so you've got a 50-50 chance of recovering from stall. Max altitude of 5. So the altitude goes from 1 to 5. Given the Xiphon Interceptor is a space plane, I'd be very surprised if it couldn't go as high as 5. But some ones that are just sort of like cardboard fuselages with a rocket on the back, they're not designed to go that high, so they have a maximum that's lower. Now, weapons. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Well, I say it's all interesting if you're me. So your weapons have got a fire arc and a number of dice to hit, and then a damage, and then an ammo characteristic, then a special. So the way this works is, I showed you the hexagon before. If you're firing front, then the target has to be within your front arc. I'm sure you're familiar with arcs. Then the FPR is about how many dice you get to roll to hit, depending on the range of the weapon. So every roll, the target number to hit doesn't vary with the planes. It's always 5. There are some things that increase it or decrease it. Like height is normally the biggest thing. It's like -1 to hit if you're on a different level to your target. But the number of dice you get to roll depends on what range you're at. And it's the ranges are standard. Short, medium, can't remember what the third one would be. Short is always 1 to 4 hexes. Medium is always 5, 6, 7 hexes. And long is always 8 to 10 hexes on the map. You saw the map with the hexagon pattern on it. That's how you measure distance. So, for example, the quad last cannon on this interceptor has 2 shots at long range. It has 4 shots at medium range, but 0 shots at short range. So it can't get a lock on it can't get a lock on its target from that distance. So if you are within short range of this plane, it cannot fire that weapon at you. Now, conversely, from one of the other sets, orcs have very short range weaponry. If they've got inside it, yeah. Then the weapon has a damage characteristic. So once you've got a hit, it's not a combination of the target and the shooter. How much damage a vehicle can take is based entirely on the vehicle. So I mentioned before, this has 3 structure points, this example here. So each weapon, if it rolls to damage, does 1 damage. So the quad last cannon damages on a 2+. The rotary frag missile launcher damages on a 5+. So that's so that's a factor of the weapon, is how easy it causes the damage. So it's talking about the turn. So phase 1, you choose your maneuvers. So you pick your number from your card for each for each plane, and you put it down secretly. Then you dice off with your opponent for the initiative, and that's going to turn. That determines who gets to move first, who gets to shoot first, which can be relevant. Then there's a mechanic called tailing fire. If in the previous turn there is a plane that's in the rear arc of an enemy, and the enemy is in its front arc, and it's in range of its weapons, you get 3 shots at it at this point. So position is very good, is very relevant. Right, phase 4, movement. You then alternate moving your planes. and you pick them one at a time to do. I do one, you do one, I do one, you do one. You do all the moving before anyone starts shooting. Tailing fire notwithstanding. Then you pick who firing, and it's I pick, you pick, I pick, you pick. So it can be quite strategic in terms of maneuvering your planes and then firing your planes, depending on what your opponent's doing. Because you think, right, okay, that guy there can shoot at like 5 different things, but this one's only got one target, so I desperately want to save this plane, therefore I've got to kill that one first. Right, who can I do that with? There's lots of that. Then in the end phase, you work out if anyone's stalling, crashing, and then you work out who has got tailing fire for the next round. Then it repeats, just like 12 times. The movement phase, you adjust your throttle, whoop, to go forward, to go increase your speed, decrease your speed. You do your move and your maneuver. Then you adjust your altitude. So you can choose to go to increase 1 or more levels depending on how fast you're going, or decrease 2 or more levels. However, going up reduces your speed, going down increases it. So it's, if you haven't done it right with your, if you've misjudged your throttle, you can end up stalling because you've gone too slow if you've gone up, or going past your maximum. Yeah. Then there's some stuff about disengagement and crashing, but those are all really, really niche. They don't happen as often. We're not going to talk about those. Fire arcs I mentioned. So there's one in. So one of the ways the mechanics work is you can only pick one target in each fire arc. So obviously you've got forward, rear, left side, and right side. So let's say think about you pick a target in your front arc, then all your weapons that you can't pick another target in your front arc. Anyone that's firing front has to fire at that target. But what you can do is pick a target in your right arc, or in your left arc, or your rear arc. So some of the Orc planes have got a rear-facing gunner that can only fire rear. So you always fire your front-facing guns at whatever's in front of you, and you pick another target in your rear to shoot the other ones out. Some turrets have got multi-choice as to which arc they fire at. But you then pick which. So if, for the sake of argument, there's a target in your front arc and a target in your right arc, you can say, right, well, the turret's firing right. So you've nominated your target in your right arc. Anything that fires in the right arc has to fire at that target. Makes sense. Kind of. Then there's some things about special rules. Yeah, there's some weapons that do extra damage on a particular roll to hit. Some an aerial attack. Some weapons can only be used against air targets, cannot target ground targets. Tail gunner is an interesting rule on certain weapons. If you've had tailing fire fired at you, they can shoot back. Ground attack are weapons that can shoot at the ground. Natch. And Jink. Is this new? One minute. Okay. When it's chosen to fire, it can immediately move a hex in one direction. This was possibly in the previous rulebook. It's just not come up yet because no one I've got can do it. Maybe some of these can. End phase. I explained most of that before. Ending the game. A a lot of it. Are there any scenarios in here? Yeah, this is basic dogfight. Okay. So most of the results of the game is based on victory points, and it's to do with aircraft being shot down, aircraft being damaged, and aircraft disengaging. So if you blow an aircraft up, you get all of its points. So if it costs 20 points, you get 20 points. If you damage it but not destroy it, you get 50%. If you've damaged it but it manages to disengage from the fighting area, you only get 25%. So killing stuff is still very much the way to go. So in scenarios, there are various different special rules that are referenced in some scenarios. One is reserves. You can leave a number of planes off the table and bring them on at certain points later in the game, but you have to roll to be able to do it. And it's like a 5+ in early game turns, then a 4+ medium, and then a 3+ for later turns. Oh, Kevin. Teeth, man. You have my sympathy. There are rules for night fighting and bad weather. Night fighting, you can't fire at long range, and you only get half your dice to fire at short range, at medium range. So it's challenging if you're a long range fleet and your opponent needs to get close, like orcs. Bad weather. Bad weather's interesting. You roll a d3 and it tells you at what level the cloud cover sits at. So if you roll 2, the cloud is at level 2. So if you're shooting from above the cloud to below the cloud, you apply the night fighting rules, the visual restrictions. But if you're both below the cloud, if you're both below the cloud, oh no, it's at that level and below. I've got that wrong. The result of the roll determines the altitude level. Above this level, all the normal restrictions apply. Yeah, night fighting applies to that level and below. Right, now we have conversations. We have the bit about squadron lists. So we have the Adeptus Astartes squadron and the Xenos squadron. Now, so what you have in a squadron is you've got the cards with the stats on and the optional weaponry. There are also upgrade cards that you can give up to a maximum of 2 per plane, and they cost points as well. And these are different per race. So have a look at these. Ceramite plating. Aircraft has been outfitted with ceramite plating. When it's damaged by a weapon that has the extra damage rule, the X plus value is reduced by 1. So if it was like a 5+ to do extra damage, it would only do it on a 6+. Okay. 2 points. You might play a game of around about 100 to 200 points. 200 points is a large game. Infrared targeting. Night fighting or bad weather rules it allows you to fire at medium without reducing the number of firepower dice. That's nice. Armored cockpit gives you a 6+ shrug. Tech Marine. The aircraft carries or is piloted by a Tech Marine. Once per game, the aircraft may attempt to repair during the end phase. Roll a d6 for each lost point of structure. For every 5+, repair a single point of structure. That's nice. 4 points. Infernum Halo Launcher. Many Space Marine aircraft are fitted with sanctified chaff launchers that interfere with the guidance systems of incoming missiles. Once per game, roll a d6 for each hit the aircraft suffers from a weapon with an ammo characteristic of 1, 2, or 3. And that's because things like missiles are normally restricted ammo, and they've only got like 1 or 2 or 3. goes with them. Free to roll the 6, that hit becomes a miss. Okay. It's a point. Right, so the Xiphon Interceptor we talked about before. 3 structure points, throttle of 2, minimum speed 2, maximum speed 6. This is kind of nippy. Ace maneuvers 1 to 7. That is super maneuverable. That and the quad last cannon will pack some serious punch at medium range, but does nothing at short range. So you need to outmaneuver your opponent with this one and get. Oh, you want to be more than 4 hexes away with this thing. It's also got a rotary frag missile launcher, which is 221. So, okay, you don't want to be at long range with that. That's fine. And it also gives you a couple of dice if you're caught out at short range. Crack missiles and hunter-killer missiles. Fairly standard missile fare. Crack missiles 222, damage 3+, 3 ammo. Ground attack, extra damage. Hunter-killer missiles 022. 3+, 3 damage, aerial attack. All right, yes. So these are ones to shoot your to shoot other planes. Okay, Storm Eagle assault craft. Right, what are you? Structure points 4. So I thought they'd be 5. I'm gonna be honest. Throttle 2, minimum speed 0. So these can hover. Transport 2, so these can carry troops. Ace maneuvers 1 to 5, which isn't bad for such a big vehicle. Quad last cannon, same as the other one. Twin heavy bolters, 3 shots at short range, 1 at medium. Dual frag missile pods, similar to the other one. They're quite nice. They can also take the crack missiles and hunter-killer missiles. 29 points. Now, this is interesting. Well, they haven't been released yet, obviously, but there are stats here for Fire Raptor Gunship. Similar stat line to Storm Eagle. Structure 4, throttle of 2, ace maneuvers 1 to 5. Optional weaponry. I'm trying to read a book here. It's gone very quiet. I wonder if people can still hear me. Better check my phone. Okay. Okay, so question in the chat from Moog. Is the ability to carry troops important in an aerial combat game? Thanks, Crimson. Just confirm that you can still hear me. It is. It depends on the mission. So, for instance, the scenario I'm playing on Friday with the Claw is that an airfield is under attack by Orc commandos, and the Guard are trying to land guard reinforcements. The Air Force trying to land guard reinforcements on the airfield to help repulse it, and the Orcs are trying to shoot them down. Now, there are, in that particular scenario, there are big victory points for getting a vehicle, a plane, with a transport capacity to land in the landing zone, which you set up as part of the scenario. And you get big points for doing that. But you have to, there are a lot of restrictions on the height you can be at and how you approach it. Now, those rules aren't in this book. They're always in the campaign books for the previous 2 versions, which does suggest to me that they are going to release a campaign book for this one. Because I don't think you can get the other 2 books anymore. It'd be a bit weird to have stuff in here you couldn't use. So they must be. So yes, it's all to do with scenarios. If you're just playing a pickup dogfight, no difference whatsoever. Now, this Fire Raptor gunship has got optional weapons. It can have it differentiates between starboard and port turrets. Last cannons or autocannons. Autocannons have got super lots of shots at medium, but very little else. Last cannons, again, they're medium range weapons. So your position with the fire. That's interesting, actually, because you fire out to gunship. It's got to be difficult to get medium on both sides at once. So you may be skirting around the edges with this thing, going pew, 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 pew. And Lemmy's now rolling on the desk, wanting me to tickle her tummy. Right. Just before... Actually, no, we'll do... There are only 2 Eldar planes. So we'll do the Eldar planes, then we'll go to questions that Crimson has been sending me. So the Azurani upgrades. Hollow fields. Aircraft protected by an illusionary field. When an enemy aircraft fires at this aircraft from long range, it must re-roll successful hit rolls of a 6. In addition, at medium range, it must re-roll 1 successful hit roll of a 6. All right, so your opponent has to re-roll half its hits at certain ranges. Spirit Stone. The aircraft may re-roll the D6 to avoid crashing or breaking up or when recovering from a spin because the Spirit Stone takes over. Okay. Mind Sight. The aircraft's targeters and sensors are supplemented by Eldritch senses. If night fighting or bad weather... right, okay, so it's equivalent to the same targeting one the Space Marines have. You get your full dice at medium range. Star Engines. Some Azurani aircraft are equipped with extra engines that increase their speed without affecting their maneuverability. Increase both the max and minimum speed characteristics by 1, up to a maximum of 9. They go faster. That's 2 points. Right, so a Nightwing is 20 points. Has 2 structure points, so they'll break up as soon as you hit them, pretty much. Throttle 3, here we go. Minimum speed 2, maximum speed 8. So they can go from 0 to lots pretty quick. Ace maneuvers 1 to 8, so they can do any maneuver. Max altitude 5, they can go as high as you like. And it comes with a Shuriken Cannon, which is front 8 dice. That's the same as an Orc big shooter. 8 dice short range, 4 dice medium range, unlimited ammo, damage on a 5+. Nightwing can have 1 additional weapon from the following list for 3 points. Oh man, the sprue must have all these options on it. Twin Bright Lancers. So they look very similar to the last cannons, except they can fire at short range. Scatter lasers are more a 644, so they're lots of shots at short range. Missile launchers, 2 shots at all ranges, 3+ damage. Ammo 2, so they are restricted ammo. Twin Star Cannons, 3 at short range, 2 at medium, none at long. Unlimited ammo, 3+ damage. Oh, that makes them serious anti-things. Okay. Then the Phoenix Bomber. Also structure 2. I thought that would have been 3. Okay, 23 points. Throttle 2, so a bit slower. Max speed 2, minimum speed 2, max speed 6. Ace maneuvers 1 to 7, so it can't do it can't do quite all of them. Shuriken Cannon, same as the one we just read out. Missile array, 320, 4+, that's quite good. Bomb rack, so it is actually a bomber. Rear attack 4 at short range. Basically, you fly over things and you can hit things behind you with your bombs. Damage 2+, ammo 3. Then with optional weaponry of Nightfire Plasma Missile Array, 222, 3+, ammo 2. Or Nightfire Crack Missile Array, 222, 3, 2. So 2 at all ranges, 3 damage. And additional weaponry, Bright Lances, Star Cannons, and Pulse Lasers. The Pulse Lasers one we've not read out. That's 2 at short, 3 at medium, 2 at long, 3+ damage, unlimited ammo. So if the Eldar hit you, they will damage you pretty easily. Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie. Oh, let's sit up a little bit. And that is the contents of the book. So did a video with the Claw a while ago, learning how to play, where we literally just put some models down, opened the book, and started to work it out, and filmed it. I've linked that in the description to the ramble if anyone is interested in going back and looking at that. And also there will be some more battle reports coming soon. I haven't seen many questions about Aeronautica come up in the chat, but maybe that's just because I haven't seen them. And we will go to questions now, and I'll see what Crimson has sent me through. Okay. Say hi to Asa. Asa, who is from Russia. Hi, Asa. Kevin has a poorly tooth. Yes, I caught that, and I caught my eye on that. I saw that. Not good, Kev. Robert Wardle, just wanted to say I was glad to see you start your own channel. I really enjoy watching your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy it. We are all impressed that you carry on regardless as we talk about random stuff in the chat. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult. Chapter Master Lexicus. Paul does very well at not letting these comments distract him. Sometimes I do. Kevin saying at some point there needs to be a curry off with judges and everything. Okay. Again, Chapter Master Lexicus does say Hi Paul have Necromunda boxes on his shelf. On myself? No. On my shelf? Yes. Because I got some because Necromunda is on the list. But it's below a bunch of other things. And it's a come on, brain. It's a longer setup time because I need to do the scenery for it. The scenery I've got doesn't work for it, so I've got to do a whole bunch of scenery to do Necromunda. So it's further down the list. I only worked that out having picked up the boxes, and I'm like, okay. Right, so they were questions on the phone. I desperately need to have a drink. One moment. That wasn't enough. It was nearly empty. What do we got? Oh, we've got a super chat from Kev. I now ask for Aeronautic for Christmas. Aeronautic, yeah, it's a really fun game. It's a really fun game. One thing I would recommend is buying the card packs whilst they are available, because they make life so much easier when playing the actual game. So if you are getting into it, I recommend that, because having not had them at the start and then having to scour eBay for them, I ended up paying through the ruddy nose for them. So I do recommend those. Okay, so what have I been doing this last week? I'll pick up any other Aeronautica related questions I will pick up, but there don't seem to have been very many at all. What have I been doing this last week? I have mostly been painting Black Templars this week. It took me significantly longer than I hoped to get them painted. There was some. For those of you who've seen my hobby vlog on it, which I posted up last night, I used a bunch of the techniques and color combinations that were recommended by Warhammer TV, some of which I had not done before. And I learned some more techniques that take quite a long time that I probably won't use very often because they take quite a long time. I tend to base what I'm doing around how long it takes. And the Dreadnought took me about 5 hours, and it should have taken me about 90 minutes because a black Space Marine Dreadnought is one of the easiest things to paint. You spray it black, you dry brush the majority of the thing with lead belcher or equivalent, then you ink it, then a bit more dry brushing, then you paint the armor panels, few details, done. That thing, done in that order, with those techniques, I'm hours. So yeah, that was a challenge. That was a challenge. Did some online role playing on Saturday night. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And on Sunday, I did some gaming with Sultan from Deployment Zone on his YouTube channel, Sultan Plays. Check it out. We played Vermintide for a few hours and killed rats, lots and lots of rats, hacking and slashing and firing single shot flintlocks like they were Uzis, without the 30 seconds to reload each round. But, great fun. So that was good. That was good. So, yeah, painting the... What was I going to say? Night Lords. I don't know. Night Lords is a silly thing to say. Black Templars, but I have to say I really enjoyed. I really liked the finished product, and painting them made me think, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do, and then getting all sorts of competing priorities. Thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. But I did a bit of tidying up in the garage as well, because those of you in the Discord will know that I ran out of shelf space for new armies about 6 weeks ago when I got my Nighthorns finished, and then I've added a couple of trays of Necrons, so I had to do some reorganizing and move a lot of my consolidate stuff into a place where there was air. It's like, okay, this shelf isn't being properly utilized. That stuff can all go. Right, boxes, stack. Right, I now have shelves to put more trays and more models on. Which was good. Come on, brain. So I did the first bit of come on, brain. What are you saying? I did some Solar Hammer today. I played the Black Templars against the Necrons, which was a lot of fun. That was good. It took me a while, but it was a lot of fun. That's uploading now, so should be up in the members' lounge tomorrow at some point. I know Sunday's very late this week, but that should be up tomorrow. I've got other things planned for later this week. I am meeting up with Gambit on Thursday, and I'm going to pit again, assuming nothing goes wrong, which other things often seem to do, pitting my Black Templars against his Death Guard. So what I've been doing this afternoon, in between various bits of cooking, is I have been assembling some assault intercessors, and what are they called? Blade guard and a chaplain. And in theory, I'll paint those tomorrow. Now, I know I just said it took me like a week and a half to paint what I thought I could do in an afternoon. And I'm now thinking I can do a similar number of models in an afternoon tomorrow. I have no follow-on to that. Well, except to say that the 5 assault intercessors will be easy peasy. They have a lot of robes, they have lots of fiddly bits, and I'm going to do those first. They should be straightforward. The blade guard and the chaplain, less so. Okay, what we got here? From Luke Vickery. Luke, thank you for the super chat. Paul, any plans for a third outing for your orcs against the 13th anytime soon? It's the Crumpen trilogy we all need to see. I am playing Winters next week, and I am taking my orcs. I think he's playing his 13th, which is why, hobby-wise, between now and Thursday, it's Black Templars. Then between Thursday and next Thursday, it's orcs. So I want to try. I've got to do a couple of things with my Death Skulls to after the codex changed. So I need to add some spanners into my looters. But I've been building snake bites. That's the other thing I've been doing this week. I've built a bunch of snake bites. And I need to get those. I say need. It's not like I don't have an army to take down, but I like using new things every game I play. So I am going to try and take a snake bite contingent with me. I think we're playing a 2K game, so I will have a few different flavors of orcs. See what I get painted. See what I get done. That's Thursday. Friday, fingers crossed, I'm meeting up with the Claw, and we're going to play Aeronautica Imperialis to do the next mission on Rin's World. I think I'm doing that one for public YouTube, not for channel members, I think. Can't remember. I'll work it out near the time. And if we have time, we're going to squeeze in a cheeky game of 40k of orcs versus Black Templars, which is another reason for painting the Black Templars. So, yeah, that's tomorrow. I might even do a little bit after the stream tonight. Maybe finish building the ones that I started earlier. And then, post-Friday, things get pretty interesting because Saturday is Porfest. So, heading over to Belper to meet all the wonderful people from Discord who were able to make it, and feeling very sorry for everyone who's been geographically unable to attend, and has work and other commitments. But just you guys organizing this and the getting together to meet each other, because the Discord is a really, really chilled, cool hobby place. There's loads of just sharing and conversations and ideas, and yeah, it's an awesome Discord. And it's not awesome because I'm there. I float in and out, and I try and respond to the say hi Pauls wherever I can. But it's awesome because of you guys. So yeah, I'm really pleased that you guys decided to have this event. And hello. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the fact that you all get to meet up, and yeah, you guys wouldn't necessarily be doing that if it wasn't for the channel. So that's really cool. Makes me smile. Luke has super chatted again. Praise the mighty orc gods. The trilogy will be answered. Orcs, 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 orcs. Also, sad I can't make Porfest. Yes, me too. But I'm sure there will be other fests. I say sure. I hope. We'll see how this one goes. Fingers crossed. Right, now my phone's been buzzing again, which means that Crimson has been furnishing me with things to say. This message was deleted. 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 I think she's probably deleted the ones I've already read out. Right, Chapter Master Lexicus. I'd love to get back into Necromunda. Loved playing that as a kid. You were a goat? Man. Yeah, it strikes me as a really, really, really fun game, and I've loved the idea of it. So we'll see. We'll see. I have been hoping to try and tempt someone I used to game with a lot to give it a go, but I don't think I'm going to manage it. Anyway, I digress. Looks. If World Eater's got an Aeronautica faction, would it still be melee only? Well, I don't consider World Eater to be a melee only army. In fact, my World Eater army has got quite a few guns, because if you go further back in the stories, in the lore, in the narrative, they aren't all just about going crazy and pulling things apart with their bare hands. They are about spilling blood. Khorne does not care from where the blood flows, only that it flows. So they tended to shun things like laser weapons that would cauterize wounds. But the flamers, oh yes. Bolters, oh yes. So yeah, I mean, I can see World Eater Marines possibly not being the most stable pilots, but depending on which vehicles they introduce. So, for example, the Hellblade in the 40k canon is actually crewed by a demented servitor, not by a space marine. So if they put Hellblades in, it wouldn't matter if it was World Eaters or not. So the Sump, who is your Necromunda gang going to be? I'm just about to get back into it and rejoin the Redemption. I've got Escher and I've got Orlox. I also like the look of Dalak. I mean, I'll be honest. What I will probably do if I get back into it is I'll probably start on a couple of gangs, then I'll probably get a few. What I need to work out is whether or not I need to magnetize a bunch of the arms for when you upgrade them and they buy new guns. Whether you need to change the arms, I don't know. I don't know how that works. But it strikes me as a relatively low model count, a relatively small painting investment once the scenery is sorted to get a gang and do some games with a gang, than to go, oh, I need a new 3,000 point 40k army and do some games with that. That takes longer to achieve. Elliot Thompson said, sounds like you need to buy next door. Well, it wouldn't be very convenient because I actually live in a detached house, so I couldn't knock through or anything. I'd have to build some kind of like an annex skywalk to get to next door. But if I'm building annex skywalks, I could go to the left and right and over the road and backwards. I could turn it into a labyrinth network, a labyrinthine network. Yes, good. Paul needs a bunker under his lawn. And down! We can go down. The council will never know. Ma. Is the Orc Apocalypse coming? From Elliot Thompson. I've done a fair few Orc games, and I've done a big game with Orcs versus Eldar, so probably not for a little while. But yeah, I do love the Orcs. Kevin Nicholson, I'm bringing gold coke for you, Paul, to sign. Yeah, fine. Okay. You need a pen. That'll write on a can. Luke, again, disclaimer. Other, where are we? Other Paul-flavoured festivals are available. Newsflash, Moog is not dead. He's been building things. Okay. Was there a suspicion that Moog had expired during the chat? Am I that riveting that Moog just passed away? Okay. Lash of the Dice. I think there might be a letter missed off some of these. So apologies if I've missed letters off some of your things. My son plays D&D. So it's Clash of Dice, obviously. My son plays D&D at our game club on Saturday nights, and one of the guys there has got me playing Necromunda to pass the time. I'm liking it using my Gene Stealer cults. Cool. Yes, Gene Stealer. Okay, Josh Arnold. Paul, random question. I'm painting Blood Ravens with corn red base color for armor. I've tried edge highlighting with Evil Sun Scarlet, but it's too bright. Help. Try edge highlighting with corn red. I tend to edge highlight with... when I'm doing it, I tend to paint it a base color, then ink it, then highlight it in the color, in the base color. If that's causing you a problem, pick the shade you're going to highlight it up to. Do a mix of the base shade and the one you want to get to, and just try it, sort of 2-to-1. If that's still too bright, try it 3-to-1, 4-to-1, until you get a shade that gives you the highlight, but without popping too much. That's what I do. From Moog Little Figures. Let's say, Hi Paul, you're going to struggle to magnetize the Necromunda Ganga arms. They're spindly. Well, I have got some 0.5mm magnets. No, they're 1mm magnets. And I could maybe do pins. I could maybe do pins to keep them in place with magnets just to keep the orientation right. You never know. Fellowship with a ping. The council will never know. Annex Skywalkers. Wasn't he Darth Vader? No. It's a Die Hard 2 reference. Yeah, Crimson will have got it. I'm a Die Hard fan. Apart from Die Hard 5, that doesn't count. That wasn't Die Hard. But Die Hard 1 through 4, I'm a Die Hard fan. Moog was very quiet. Okay, that explains things. Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Kevin Nicholson, have 2 boxes of the old Necromunda scenery, slowly collecting the metal gangs, but thinking of jumping into the new one. Yeah, I mean the sculpts are just so nice. They're so nice. I know there is charm with some of the old models, which I get, but some of the new ones are so nice as well. Yes, we're talking Christmas films. Die Hard, best Christmas film ever. Nick Goddard, what's for dinner, mother? It's a Fast Show reference for you there. And then the following week, the next 6 numbers came up again, which was nice. Evening, Mr. Sorcerer Dave. Or were you saying goodbye or hello? Hey, it's Chewy from Deployment Zone fame. Hi, man. Now Kevin wants to watch the Die Hard trilogy. Yeah. I'm like a sort of geek pusher as opposed to anything else pusher. Plastic pusher. Yeah, except Die Hard isn't plastic, but it's I could spiral there. Okay, the Sump. We're still going to do a campaign starting in Necromunda with the Gene Stealer cult uprising, moving to Kill Team as elite squads move in to stop them, then 40k when the Tyranids invade. That is an epic idea. Do it, and then tell us all about it. Take pictures. Get in the Discord. Show us the pictures. That sounds awesome. Hello. Well, good day to be commonly specific, I guess, from Sorcerer Dave. Yeah, I must have been confused by your use of a different language. Nick Goddard is a little bit way and a little bit whoa. Oh, Moog is asking, what craft world for my Eldar planes? That depends. What craft world are you planning on playing in 40k? Because you want to you want to make the two match. You want to make them line up. It also depends very much on whether you like painting red or green or yellow or black or blue. The Chewy Seaman jokes have started already. All right, Moog, if you're eschewing Eldar in 40k, I reiterate my second question. Do you like painting red or green or yellow or blue or black? It's not exactly the same question. I've switched that around a little bit, but yeah. Very tempted by the tiny planes. Mostly I just want to paint some tiny Xiphons. Yanari Aeronautica, that is true. You could paint them Yanari, which is sort of black and gold and red. Chewy is getting some Chewy love. Lewis Spencer, I went Isabella with mine because I'm a turquoise fan. Yes, there are, of course, lots of smaller craft worlds with different color schemes. Nice turquoise. Fellowship of the Ping. Paul, what's your favorite army in 40k to play? Oh, I have no favorite. That's like saying, what's your favorite child? Or what's your favorite? Oh, I don't know. Element. I was going to say gas, but you could at least narrow it down. There is very little in the 40k universe that I can't get into, put myself in the headspace of, and enjoy the narrative and play towards the narrative. So I don't have a favorite. I like them all. It's a 40k thing for me. Right, we're getting more things through on the thing. I can feel Crimson's frustration from here. She's typing them out, and then I'm reading them out, and then she's deleting them on here. And then, yeah, the cycle continues. Sorcerer Dave, what was the orange one? Luganath, something like that? Something like that, yeah. And Moog now has an idea for a Bailtan force. Oh, yes, lots of Aspect Warriors that kick booty and Warlocks. I don't ask my mum who's favourite because I already know it's not me. Well, on that happy note, we're an hour 20 in. We've covered off Aeronautica. We've covered off what I've been doing with my week. And the questions in the chat appear to be drying up. So on that happy note, I'll say a big thank you to everyone joining in the chat, everyone who has super chatted. So big thanks to Luke and to Kevin and scroll, and to Chapter Master Lexicus, who I know did it, but I can't see it in here anymore. And big thank you to Crimson for moderating and sending me all the messages so I can keep myself sane and still keep track of everything I need to say and respond to and read and things. Yes. Okay. I am blathering now. Oh, Lexicus, thank you. And a late super chat. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Hang on. Chapter Master Kevin. Oh no, Chapter Master Kevin. The thank yous. The thank yous. Crimson is helping me with the thank yous. So okay, I think I've got everyone. And the sub says, cheers, Paul. I enjoyed listening to the cat puke on your last video. Well, no one ever called me professional. Could you hear it? That's unfortunate. And on that pukey note, I will say adieu to you all. Thanks for joining me. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye. 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 Bye.